brothers named George and Albert. Willie was different. He felt and looked different. He was gawky and pigeon-toed. Maybe way down deep inside himself, he felt he was a genius. Willie's father was always preaching about the fine qualities of the wood thrush. A wood thrush, he would say, is not mighty like an eagle, or beautiful like a peacock, or wise like an owl. Certainly wood thrushes do not try to talk like humans as parrots do, nor do they sing like nightingales. No, we have a simple song that has never changed throughout the ages. Willie's father would say, it is only 6 notes long, but it is perfect, and it is glorious. Many famous human composers such as Handel, Weber, and Gounod have been inspired by our song. Finally, he just couldn't stand it anymore. So he flew away to a neighboring wood and made himself a new home alone. Willie's mother was concerned for him. She came to see him and made sure he was getting enough berries, spiders, worms, seeds, and wild fruits to eat, but she didn't try to convince him to return home. She was wise enough to let him live as he needed to live. Willie was happy by himself in the woods. He flew from birch to oak to pine tree and watched the sun rise and set, and wondered what his genius would be. Then, one twilight, Willie heard the sweet notes of a flute. He flew closer to listen better. Miss Polly accompanied by a bird before, but she found Willie's music enchanting. She happily played duets with Willie until night fell and the moon rose. Until she heard Willie practicing his songs in a tree. Regular meeting of the Birdwatchers Society reported the amazing news of Willie, the creative thrush. The Birdwatchers were flabbergasted. A thrush who composed his own music. No one had ever heard of such a thing. Could it possibly be true? They called up the experts at the National Ornithological Society in Washington, D.C. The experts were flabbergasted too, even if they wouldn't admit it. And that very night, a motorcade of ornithological officials in top hats arrived at Miss Polly's house to see and hear the miraculous Willie. His audience fell silent. Willie was a genius. They knew it, and Willie knew it too. But later, as Willie rested in the dim top of a pine tree and Miss Polly served tea, the ornithologist told Miss Polly that Willie was too important a bird to stay out in the wild. He must come to Washington and live in the aviary there. All the world deserved a chance to see and hear this remarkable creature. Miss Polly worried. The aviary would be so different from the woods behind her house. But she felt a duty to Willie's genius. So she took him on the train to Washington. Miss Polly was right. Away from his quiet wood, surrounded now by hundreds of strange birds, Willie couldn't sleep, or eat, or fly. Or still, he couldn't sing. Not even the sound of Miss Polly's flute could cheer him or coax a note out of him. different to be a genius, but he did not want to be a celebrity. After a few days, Miss Polly put her foot down. She took Willie back home and returned him to his woods and meadows. For quite a while, Willie kept to himself. But then, hearing the sweet sounds of Miss Polly's flute among the trees, he began to try his songs again. Very softly, just for themselves, Willie and Miss Polly, his true old friend, brought to life the songs they had created together. The rest of the world did not forget Willie. The Ornithological Society built a shrine called Willie's Room in their museum. Even now, if you have the right spirit, you can find it among all the hustle and bustle, the honking horns and blaring radios in Washington. And going in, you can hear for yourself the miracle